Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. Wherever you are watching us from, I welcome you to this amazing program today. And I wish you a happy seat at home. Wherever you are watching this program from, I wish you a happy seat at home. Today is Monday, the 4th day of March 2024. We have come once again to preach the gospel of Biafra, as we always do. And before we go fully into today's program, first of all, I have to entertain you, the audience, with our usual songs of strength, songs that encourage us, songs that place demand on us to do what we are supposed to do. And we will start now. Please, as you join, like and share the program on your platform, share to family and friends. Make sure you reach to as many people as possible so that this gospel will spread to the ends of the earth. Let us go listen while we prepare for the program.
I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb were born. You do this very well. You must be very, very strong.
Mwerenda siputa makamwero mwekanyinaga biko kulien ogeruo biko kulien iye jamalike ogeruo omwenda boroku makamwero wanyi omwenda muruchekwa makamwero wewu Biafra biko kulien ogeruo biko kulien iye jamalike ogeruo. The spirit of Biafra biko kulien ogeruo mwerende Biafra kidie mule biko kulien ogeruo oamadike nona donjon umukekwe kihere meyae Odike, mbosi ike rura chobalike. Biko kulien ogeruo. Biko kulien, iye jamalike ogeruo. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in exile, Master Simon M. It won't smooth to swing up and you know, they brought it out from my Guinea. Masi Simon Epa, emesu wakokwere onyendu. Iye jamadi keruo, imapwa Simon Epa ujie. Iye jamadi keruo, Simon Epa watakata wo. Ojuda kwenyi, mkwikwe onyendu kine betata. I will follow you, I will follow you, I will follow you, never look back. I will follow you. Prime Minister, Aniga Wanuga, I will follow you. Anina, I will follow you. I will follow you. The question is this: if Nigerian government failed to organize referendum for children of Biafra, are you ready to lead us to do anything in order to get freedom for Biafra? And I'm going to be number one to follow you. If you are looking for 100 men, you will find 15 in me. Ogwe Bucharangwe, Master Simon Epa, Ogene. Master Simon Epa, Biko, GC, Kaka, Nogu, Atakata, Kaina, Ojuda, Uwe, Equivalent, Kine, Menata. Omadike Biafra, Dahi Boroga Biarole, Iye Jamadike, Biafra Republic Government Awukie, Iye Jamadike, Commander General Lekweshiri, General Buduso, Suna Atakata War, Commander Holy Ghost, Okunyendu Borokunu Nazatata, Iko Kuye, Kuye Nuo, Oke Nuo, Iko Kuye, Iye Jamadike, Oke Nuo, Iko Kuye, Kuye Nuo, Oke Nuo, Iko Kuye, Iye Jamadike, Iye Jamadike, Oke Nuo.
Maka Biafra, we're on Putarani onye ndu, Simon Eba, Oba Tobie.
Witness me, I want to remain in the spirit because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have sealed, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, oh Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He
say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very morning program. I appreciate everyone that has connected on this very platform, wherever you are connecting from. I appreciate you and I welcome you. I say, may Chukwu continue to guide and protect you. Wherever you are joining us from, if you are joining from Biafra land, if you are joining from the Zoological Republic, if you are joining from any part of Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, you are joining from Russia, you are joining from China, you are joining from Israel. Whichever part of the world you are connected to this program, I welcome you and I say, continue to guide and protect every one of you that has connected. Fellow Biafrans that are watching, if you are joining this very platform for the very first time or you are seeing our video for the very first time, I want you to understand that this very platform where you are watching this program is a platform that is under the Biafra Republic of Exile, a platform under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and under the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In this very platform that you are watching this program, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come here to attack individuals. We don't come here to attack any race. We do not come here to attack any religion. What we do in this platform is to bring the plight of the Biafran people before the whole world. We come here to tell the world the true situation of things in the contraption called Nigeria. We come here to bring the truth and nothing but the truth. We come here to encourage Biafrans and everyone that is genuinely seeking for freedom, regardless your race, your religion, or your location. As long as you're genuinely seeking for freedom, we are here for you and we speak on the same voice. In this very platform where you are coming and watching this program, all we do here is sensitization to the Biafran people and to the whole world. We don't preach hate. We don't attack individuals. As we are in this program, we are not against anybody. We are only standing against those who are standing against us. There are a certain group of people who has made themselves a willing tool in the hand of the enemy to keep us down and make sure that we don't succeed. These are the people we come against. It does not matter their tribe. It does not matter their religion. It doesn't matter their location. As long as you are standing against the freedom of the Biafran people, we will stand against you. In this very platform, every morning we come here and we interact with the Biafrans across the world. So wherever you are, this is the platform that belongs to Biafrans. And when we speak about Biafrans, we are talking about the old southeastern region, which is the present south-south and the southeast with the lower Benue and lower Kogi. Wherever you are in this territory and your mother is tying 2 pieces of wrapper, you are a Biafran, regardless the title you give yourself, regardless the nickname you give to yourself, you are a Biafran, and Chukwu Okike identifies you as a Biafran. This is a truth that nobody will tell you. You can only hear it from the Biafra Republic of Exile media. This is the message that our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have handed over to us, and we will continue to preach that truth. Preach that truth until it sinks into your bloodstream. If you are from this region, this platform for you, and you have the right to come into this platform and speak, you can say your prayers, make your argument, ask your questions, make your contributions at all times in this platform. And you are free to speak in your own language. As we all know, in Biafra, we have different languages in Biafra. Biafra comprises of many nations. You have the Ijaw nations, you have the Efik nation, you have the Igbo nation, you have the Banke nation, you have the Ibibio nation. You have so many nations that make up Biafra. If you are part of those nations, you can come here, speak in your own language, your own dialect, so that the people in your area can understand and know their left and the right. That is why we are here, and we will continue to speak. Not only the Biafrans, if you are a one Nigerianist, or you are in it from any part of the world or any part of Africa, and you have a contribution to make in our platform, use that link, come on and speak. Make your questions, your arguments, whatever you want to talk about. As long as you are going to make your opinion respectfully, we are going to welcome you and we will listen to you. In this platform, when you are joining us, try to conduct yourself, appear decent. You cannot appear in our platform naked. And when you are making your argument, try as much as possible to be civil. I'm not telling you to apply political correctness. No political correctness in this platform, but you must be civil in making your argument, so that the whole world will understand you, so that the Biafrans will understand you, because the world is watching. The cabinet of the Biafra Republic of Nigeria is watching. Our Prime Minister, Master Simon Eba, is watching. So every contribution you make in this very platform, as long as you make it in a civil manner, it will be taken into consideration. You never can tell. Nobody knows it all. Your own word might be the game changer. So I welcome everybody on this platform that is watching, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining, and we are going to kick off the program as we have always done on this very platform. Fellow Biafrans that are watching, every one of you know what today is. Today is Monday, and we have Monday sit at home. You can see it on the topic that I chose. I think there's a mistake on the spelling of Monday. That is Monday, not Mondat. I'm going to correct it after this program. What you see there is Monday, happening now. Month of measures by Biafran government to Prime Minister as Biafran Monday sit at home, hit up Nigeria. Today is that day that we have chosen to air our opinion, to speak genuinely to the whole world. Today is the day that the Biafrans all over the world collectively have agreed that we will be having a seat at home. More especially the Biafrans in Biafra land have united together and said that Monday must be kept sacred, to demand for the freedom of our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano, to demand for the freedom of every Biafran detained prisoner. Every political prisoner of Biafra will demand for their freedom. It's a day that will tell the world that we no longer want to be part of the zoological republic. It's a day that Biafrans come together to press on the delegitimization of Nigerian government in Biafran territory. It is a day that we come together and tell all those who are working for the zoological republic in Biafran territory that they have no say anymore. It is a day that will prove to them that they have lost control in Biafran territory, and today the Biafran government is in charge. It is a day that the Biafran come together to put their hand together and show their unity, and that they are all standing behind the Biafra Republic government in exile. It's a day that we show that the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government today is in charge of the government of Biafra, and whatever he says goes. You can continue to deny it in your own way. You can continue to pretend that it's not happening. What I am telling you is the truth of the situation in Biafra land. And today, tune in into the Biafra. Go to the social media. If you can fly in as an investigator or a journalist, fly into Biafra on Monday, and you will see for yourself, and you will know and realize that Biafrans are going home, and the Biafran government is totally in charge of Biafran territory as we speak. Fellow Biafrans that are watching, the supreme leader of IPOB, who has been detained illegally by the government of the Zoological Republic, will definitely be released. If they don't, they will see how. It is not a threat, it's a promise. Every one of you know the situation surrounding the kidnap of our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano. The supreme leader of IPOB, Mazen Nandekano, was kidnapped from Kenya. He traveled to Kenya with British passport. He was stamped in. He went with visa. He didn't enter Kenya illegally. The Kenyan government knew that Mazen Nandekano entered their country because he was stamped in. Nigerian government maneuvered with all the lies, and they entered into Kenya. And today, Kenya is claiming not to know that Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped. That shows how insecure Africa is. If somebody could enter into a country, a very important personality like Mazen Nandekano, the leader of more than 70 million people, entered your country, and you are claiming that you are not aware that he was kidnapped. you have to have a rethink. You have no country. That shows how insecure and porous you are. But although we know that every one of you is lying about the situation and you are involved in it, either directly or indirectly. They kidnapped Mazen Nandekano. After torture for 8 good days, he was extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria. The 8-day torture was so much and so annoying. It is in that 8 days torture that made us to discover the IPOB Nigerian plot, the involvement of the IPOB Nigeria. Because when they told us that for 8 good days, they didn't know the whereabouts of the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazen Nandekano, and they never raised their hand. None of them raised their hand. Not even somebody who lives in the same house with him, who is supposed to be much more concerned. She also waited for 8 days. She never raised a lamb. Those who claim to be handbags of Mazen Nandekano, who told you that we are Mazen Nandekano is us. He was kidnapped 8 days. They have no idea. They didn't raise a lamb. They pretend not to know. In fact, they came out and told us that the very day we saw Mazen Nandekano in Nigeria was the same day they knew, including the white lawyer. He came and claimed he didn't know. But at last we found out that the very day Mazen Nandekano was deported, was extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria. That very day Mazen Nandekano landed in Nigeria, that he was there watching. Because Mazen Nandekano was hooded. He was there to confirm. But he claimed not to know. Today, I thank Chukwu that after all said and done, with the appearance of the Prime Minister of Biafra, today, every single one of them was exposed. They can't hide anymore. The IPOB Nigeria today have taken up their original identity. That is why you see many of them flying to Nigeria to go and take their shares. You see them flying into Nigeria to go and prepare for what's coming because they know it is all over. They know that the coming of Biafra is a reality. And the only opportunity they have today to exist in that territory is at that time. That is why they are rushing home to go and see their home for the very last time and do whatever they want to do, because when Biafra comes, it will be a different ball game. For every crime they have committed, they will pay. The court of Biafra is going to judge them. And they will face every... If the court says that they are innocent, of course they will be free. If the court finds them guilty, they will face the full wrath of the law. And they know it. Every one of them today, they can't hide anymore. They can't pretend anymore. Some of them are cunningly today doing the part of our Prime Minister and repeating his words. Some of them are still pursuing the same thing he's pursuing today, repeating his words. Some of them can have disappeared completely. They don't have that boldness anymore. These were people who were coming online on a daily basis to call our Prime Minister names. They called him agent of the zoo. They called him sponsors of trouble, gave him different kinds of names, even when they knew that he is the good man. The good guy appeared in the picture, and all of them were troubled. They couldn't handle it. What did they do? They went into massive propaganda against him. But as Chukwu Okikabiyama might have it, because he didn't bring himself. He stood, and the whole rain fell and washed away in his presence. And today he's still standing, stronger than ever. With the fall of the white lawyer, who is the eye of the government in IPOB, that marks their end. They all surrender. Those who resign, resign. Those who run away, run away. And today, the truth is out. After so many years, finally, the supreme leader of IPOB gave the order. You know, Mazen Nandekano, he doesn't act instantly. He always waits until when it is time. Just like our Prime Minister. You can't force him to do anything until when it is time. And whenever he goes into any attack, he never loses. Mazen Nandekano, when the time was right, he removed the eye of the government in IPOB, which is the so-called barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He was removed from his legal team, and that makes him totally invalid. That throw him off balance, that he is no longer part of IPOB. The only thing that connected to IPOB was the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. From the moment Mazen Nnamdi Kanu announced that he is no longer part of his legal team, a lawyer Ifeanyi Ejiofor ceases to be anything in Biafra or IPOB. Michael Zuckerman, likewise, was out, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu by himself chose a legal team to represent him. And today, Aloy Ejimako is the one today leading the council to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and he is doing marvelously very well. In as much as at a point in time, they almost caught him, because you know it is not easy to escape the bribery and corruption of the zoo. It is not easy to escape the torment and torture of the zoo. They almost caught him. But you go become the same thing. And today, Aloy Ejimako is in charge. And the Biafra Republic of Exile, under our Supreme Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, is completely in control of every legal expenses of our Supreme Leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Everything that has to do with his legal moves, expenses, on his freedom. That is what it means today, is that the Biafra Republic of Exile is totally and absolutely in charge of the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You know, initially it has been a dragging word. The IPOB in Nigeria will come and claim that they are the one working for the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They will come and claim that they are the one that the government is not doing anything. But today, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself have put his signature down and have known, as he has always known, that the only people standing with him and fighting for his release is the Biafra Republic of Exile under our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel. But that is why today they are the one in charge of every legal expenses and everything that has to do with the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the situation now, in case you do not know, with the order and approval of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is why you see the Biafra Republic of Exile putting every measure to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. After the last appearance in court, then examining the pictures that came out and the videos that came out, and it became very clear those who are in charge. The Prime Minister gave an ultimatum of 72 hours to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free, which we have seen. It expired on 1st of March, and the government of Nigeria has refused to let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free to go and treat himself, because from every indication, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not sound. He's not well. He's not well. When you look at the picture that came out, his appearance, you know. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has still been wearing one cloth for the past 3 years. And he has been in the hand of the zoo for more than 5 years in detention now. 5 years in detention from 2015 up to date. For no just cause. He has not committed any crime, but they have refused to release him. They have refused to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even when their own court have said, let this man go. The court of Nigeria have said that no law court has the right to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, they gave fine to the federal government of Nigeria to pay to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They never did. Neither did they release him. And after we saw that last appearance in court, our Prime Minister, of course, gave this 2 hours ultimatum to release him. They refused. And our Prime Minister have raised him back. And remember what he said, that we are in the mode of double dragon fire. And already, I believe you are seeing the double dragon fire. If you are not seeing it, it means you are not paying attention. That is why I always encourage you to follow our Prime Minister on his X platform. Go to X, follow Master Simon Ekpa. Just type Master Simon, type Simon Ekpa, verified account with Blue. You will get details of the double dragon fire in the march. And our Prime Minister also said that in this march, there is going to be 3 days sit at home, which is going to include Friday, to prove to those who think that they can turn us to an Islamic state that it is not possible. Not in Biafran territory. That 3 days sit at home is going to be announced by our Prime Minister when the time comes during his State of the Nation Union address. Every one of us Biafrans, we are waiting for that State of the Union address. We can't wait to witness it. That is where we are focused, because a lot of things will be revealed on that State of the Union address. So many things will be unveiled, including our social media network. So many things, and we can't wait to see that State of the Union address, which is going to happen very, very soon, any moment from now. And whenever our Prime Minister gives the update, I am going to share it with you here so that we can key in and hear. Remember, the Prime Minister of Biafra, have titled this month the month of double dragon fire. And that is what it is. Wherever you are in Biafra land, you must stand fair. You must be upright. You must always listen and focus on your environment. Be conscious of everything that's around you. Be security conscious. I have said it several times that one of the best ways you can secure yourself in Biafra land is to pick up your identity as a Biafra. Identify yourself as a Biafra. If you don't, you are always exposing yourself to the enemy. When the enemy knows you, that you know who you are, they will run away from you. They will stay far away from you. But when the enemy realizes that you don't know who you are denying yourself, you are going to be a sacrificial lamb, and you will blame yourself. Fellow Biafrans that are watching this program, anywhere you are watching us from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Gabia, wherever you are, pick up your identity as a Biafran. That is the first security you can build for yourself. And wherever you are, if you have not voted on the self-referendum of the Biafran people, it is still ongoing. It has not ended. If you have not voted on that self-referendum, I don't know what you are waiting for. I don't know. I don't know what you are waiting for. The earlier you go and cast your vote, the better for you. If you don't go now and cast your vote, you will have yourself to blame. It is not enough to claim you are a Biafran. Some jump up and tell you that nobody is more Biafran than the other, just to impress themselves. It is easy to say, but we know practically there are people who are more Biafran than the others. There are people who are more Biafran than the others, not because of their race, not because of their gender, but because they know whom they are. Because they know whom they are. If you know you are one of those, claim your citizenship by casting your vote, and also make sure that everybody around you that is above 18 is involved in that voting. Guide, protect them, direct them, help them out the best way you can. With their consent, get their information and allow them to vote. If you have not voted by now, I don't know what you're waiting for. That self-referendum vote is so much importance, very important to every Biafran, regardless under which umbrella you are fighting for Biafra. Even if you're a one Nigerianist, because every one of us can agree that the marginalization of the Biafran people is affecting everyone, whether you agree in Biafra or you don't agree in Biafra. The intimidation and attack against Biafra is affecting everyone, whether you agree in Biafra or you don't agree in Biafra. In this referendum, it is so important that every one of us can use it to make a case. Whether you are a politician, whether you are an agitator, in any umbrella you are fighting, you can use that self-referendum to make a case for yourself. You can use it to make a valid and genuine case and win it. That is how important it is. That is why you see politicians are even voting. One Nigerians are voting. Even when they are deceiving you, they are casting their vote because they know how important the self-referendum is. When you are hearing about data, that's it. When you are hearing about information, we are not the first one to do that online. We are not the first people to conduct elections online. That is where the world is today. For those who are saying that it's online, the world has moved out from analog. Everything today is digital. Life has been digitalized. Whether you like it or not, the world is not waiting for you. They have gone ahead. The world is moving ahead on speed. Nobody is waiting for you. It's left for you to stand up, wake up, and do what you're supposed to do. That is why the Biafran people are not looking back. The Biafra Republic is not stepping aside, and they're not looking back. They are moving ahead to make sure that every Biafran is defended and protected, to make sure that our territory is safe, and we will continue to do so. In doing so, there are so many other things you can do. After casting your vote, you must support the Biafran Liberation Army. Make your contribution the best way you can. Give your support to the Liberation Army. Don't wait until the day of fundraising. You can always go to the link and make your contribution and give your support to the Liberation Army.
Biafrans all over the world, let us continue to support Eastern Security Network and Biafra Liberation Army. Every day they stand in the gap to defend us and only need our support to do the work they do. For the safety, security, and freedom of our communities. Let us do this together. Go to www.ipobinUSA.org/DONATE. Also go to www.biafrarepublicgov.org/DONATE, where you can pay your liberation tax. We also accept donations on PayPal and Zelle. Just use the email address biafragov.org@gmail.com. For those in USA, we also accept donations or Cash App at $BIAFRAGOV. Freedom is not free, and together we restore it.
You can follow those links to make your donation to the Liberation Army. The Liberation Army, as you all know, is all we have today. The ESN has been collapsed completely into the Liberation Army. So anybody parading him or herself as ESN anywhere today is working for the Zoological Republic. This is the IPOB in Nigeria. What we have today is the Liberation Army. And the Liberation Army, you can support them through that very information that was said. Make your contributions and give your support to them. Fellow Biafrans that are watching anywhere you're watching from. And people of the world that are watching. You know, each time when we come on and we speak about things that are happening in Nigeria, people think we are doing that of hatred. It is not out of hatred. In fact, it is out of love. If there are people who care about lives in Nigeria, it is those people who are asking for a breakup of Nigeria. The people that cares about lives and properties of people in Nigeria are the people asking for breakup. Because the way Nigeria is structured, the more you continue to force it to remain the way it is, the more you endanger the life of people. Today, every indigenous person has become an endangered species in Nigeria. Go to their conventional media, you are going to see information that points to that. On social media, there are several informations. When we say it, people think it's not a joke. It is not a joke. Nigeria is fraudulently structured. It's structured in such a way that it is only a fraudster that can prosper in Nigeria. Only a fraudster can be their leader. If you are genuine and you are coming genuinely to do something, you can succeed. There's no way you can succeed. The most dangerous thing in Nigeria is the diversity. The diversity in Nigeria is a very dangerous one, which cannot be managed. It does not matter the kind of grammar you want to speak. It doesn't matter who you make your president. It doesn't matter who you bring to run the affairs of Nigeria. It will never work. These are people of diversity, people of diverse ideas that can never function together. You know, most of the time people talk about their founding fathers. Do you know that these so-called founding fathers knew that Nigeria can never work? Amadu Bello confessed to that. He told Dr. Nnamdi to his face and a word. He told them that we are not compatible and we can't be together. These people you call your founding father, they knew within themselves, they knew that Amadu Bello said it. That they are not the same. He told them to their face. He told Dr. Nnamdi to his face, we are not the same. But because of personal interest, they continue to force themselves to concoct this very contraption that they concocted together. Today, look at the kind of life we are losing in Nigeria. Look at how everything is. From then till date, there has been failure. It's getting worse by day. And it will get worse if nothing is being done. The people in the north has nothing in common with the people in the southwest. The people in the southwest are not the same with the people in the southeast. Even the middle belt are not the same with the north. These are different regions with different people, different identities, and different ideology. There is no way you can force them together. The more you continue to force them together, the more you are creating problems. You are endangering the life of human beings. These are people, human beings that can function on their own and perform wonders. People that can function on their own and perform wonders respectfully to each other and have a healthy competition. But yet, the interests of the colonial masters and the Western world could not allow things to happen right in that zone. The West have continued to protect their own interests in Nigeria. The criminality in Nigeria, the fraudulent and failed governance in Nigeria is favoring the West. They can come in and steal as many resources as they like without being checked. That is why they continue to support it. As we speak today, Californium they have in the north can make north to be better than Dubai. But individuals on their own have created a way to exploit that very resources, and they are sending it abroad to the colonial masters, to the interests in the Western world. And because of that, they continue to sponsor insecurity, continue to sponsor failures. And they will never allow a responsible person to run the affair. This is a fact. You can continue to deny it until thy kingdom come, but it will continue to stare you at your face. The British have continued to sponsor and support unqualified leaders. They have continued to support people who are not qualified, even to run their own family, let alone running a whole country. In order so that because of the fraudulent attitude of those people, they allow them to exploit as much as they can. Today, the resources of the zoo, the resources in that contraption they put together is being exploited, taken out of the country without scale. Petroleum that they channel their energies on, petroleum that they focus on is just least among all the resources in Nigeria. But every act of petroleum is that same petroleum. Nigeria cannot give account of how many petroleum leaves that country on a daily basis. They cannot give account. The Zoological Republic cannot scale the amount of petroleum they are taking out. It cannot be scaled. We just heard on the news that oil bunkers that were detained by the Zoological Police was at the same time rescued by the terrorist military of the zoo. They went to the station and took the oil bunker that were arrested by the police and released them. What is happening in Nigeria is fraud versus fraud. If your own fraudster is arrested by another fraudster, Your own fraudulent military will go and rescue them from the fraudulent police. But when the fraudulent police are doing their own operation, the fraudulent military will go after them and arrest them. It has been the game that is happening. And in such a country where there is a competition of fraud, how do you intend to have success? You can never have success anywhere in Nigeria. What you are going to be seeing is failure, failure, and failure. And as the day goes by, it will get worse. The Biafran people are the only people who genuinely care about lives and property of the indigenous people in Nigeria, regardless their tribe, regardless their location or their religion. The Biafrans have always been the people who care about lives and property. They are the only people who will travel to other regions, not for anything, but to act for the development of that region. They go to region, they develop it. A Biafran can never have a place and you come back the next year, you remain the same. It can never be. Any place a Biafran steps in, come there the next 6 months, there will be change. These are the only people who have contributed in development of every single state in the Israeli Republic, and they continue to contribute up to this moment. But with all those contributions, they are not welcome. Instead of encouraging them, they are being seen as a threat. With all the numerous sacrifice that I've made, we have come to a point where the Biafrans will only focus on their own freedom. Just as our Prime Minister have said, our Prime Minister said, it is only Biafra first. It is Biafra first. Anything that doesn't have to do with Biafra, we are not part of it. It is Biafra first. In any single thing you want to talk about, we put Biafra first. And that is why today the Biafrans have made up their mind to stand out and demand for their freedom. Take their freedom, not just demand. We are taking our freedom. What the Biafrans are doing today is not new. So many countries of the world that are celebrating today went the same path. The breakup of Nigeria, if it's happened today, it will be the first and it will not be the last. So many countries have been broken in the past, and today they are all doing very well and living peacefully with their neighbor, with respect. So many countries, with examples. You can talk of Malaysia and Singapore. Both countries are doing exceedingly well today. Not fighting, not quarreling, respecting each other, having a very healthy competition in all angles, in technology, in everything. You have the same within in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Each and every one of them is on their own today, doing exploits, competing in technology and all manner of things. You go to Europe, so many countries have broken up, and today they are doing very, very well. So if it happens in Nigeria, it will be the first. But ask me, why is it that the West is preventing it from happening? Why is it that the West is bent on forcing people who doesn't have the same value to be together? Why? There is no other reason than this world is built based on interest. The world is functioning based on interest. Where your interest lies is where you support. People pursue things where their interest is. That is why our Prime Minister made a statement. He said, Biafra first. And we are not waiting for anybody to rescue us, because we know they will not. We have taken our destiny into our hand. That is why the Liberation Army today are fighting head on to free Biafra. And we will continue until the zoo is brought to the table where Biafra will be set free. We cannot come to that table without doing nothing. We must do something to go to that table. And that is what we are doing today. So if you are there still talking down on Master Simon Ever, if you are there and you're not supporting the Liberation Army, I am sorry for you. You don't know whom you are, and you're not ready to be free. But I thank you, that good number of Biafrans, more than 90% of Biafrans are ready, and they are contributing immensely to the freedom of Biafra. If you are not contributing, don't think others are not doing. Others are doing, and you must wake up and start contributing. If you want to be free, this is not about Master. It's not about Master. It is about you. It's about you and your unborn generation. If you want to be free, you must accept the fact that it is time to fight and fight to the last man standing. We are very lucky that today we have a man who rules the road. We have a man who is determined to pursue. We have a man who has made a promise and said, I will complete what the eternal leader deemed to be started. And he's ready, ever ready, to accomplish that. Fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching me from, we have to wake up. This battle belongs to us. If you are one of those who is folding your hand expecting for miracle, stop wasting your time. In the era that we are in, don't deceive yourself with religion. The only way forward is for you to fight your battle. Do something. Prayer without work is useless. And maybe when we say it as agitators, you will not understand. For you to know that you must have to put some things into practical before you can be able to achieve what you want. I'm going to play a video for you. This is a message from the Reverend Father. Maybe when you are hearing from the Reverend Father, you might be able to accept and understand better that we have to fight our battle. Nobody is going to do it for us. And before we go into that, okay, let's hear from the Reverend Father before we go further.
Look at the problem of Nigeria. They teach us about faith. They teach us about hard work. But most of them don't tell us how to engage. The rules of engagement. Hello? Prayer is good. Fasting is good. Church services are good. Fellowships are wonderful. But when you are done with all that, go and look for what to do. The prayer you prayed and the fasting you did will now empower what you are about to do. When people are idle and they pray only prayers, the Bible calls them foolish people. It amounts to foolishness. Listen, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. Whatever a man sows, he will reap. If you fast too much and pray too much, you become very spiritual, but hunger can kill you. You must play your role. You must do your part. It's like a graduate who said, I don't have a job in Nigeria. We need to bring you out and give you thorough beating. Graduates should not look for a job in Nigeria. This is underdeveloped country. Help in the development by learning a skill. Stop looking for job. Become the job. Our problem is pride, unnecessary arrogance, and laziness. Can't you start by learning how to fix tiles? How to fix POP? Can't you start by learning, how to cut clothes and sew suits? I don't know the kind of system we run in education now.
In this very message, the only thing I want you to get from this message is that you don't have to keep waiting for Chukwu to come from heaven and do something for you. You must start doing something by yourself. You must learn to do things by yourself. And I'm speaking to Biafrans. No amount of prayer will stop the marginalization of the Biafran people, except we take action. No amount of prayer will give us security in Biafra land, except we take action. No amount of fasting and prayer can change the situation today, except we begin to take action. And in extension, I tell those one Nigerianists, the one Nigerianists who think that the suffering going on in the zoo today is ordinary, you are wasting your time. If you want the suffering in the zoo to end today, let Biafrans go. If you want the situation of the zoo to change, let Biafrans go. It is a very simple mathematics. The only thing that can change the situation of the zoological republic today is to let the Biafran people go. If you don't, the situation is going to get worse. If you like, pray. If you like, complain. If you like, talk from here to tomorrow. It is going to get worse. Begin to take action. Those of you who are one Nigerianists, ask your government to let Biafra go. If you want peace, if you want to grow, if you want to see security, if you want the situation to change and you want to have a nation that you can call a country, let Biafrans go. When Biafrans have left, then if you are those who want to still remain what you call yourself, go ahead and be whatever you want to be. Until you do that, the situation will get worse. And if you think that you can take your own responsibility and leave it for Chukwu Okabia to do for you, you are a time waster. Stop wasting your time. There are 30 things that Chukwu Okabia cannot do for you. Every single prayer you are doing today, Chukwu Okabia has answered already. It's left for you to wake up and do your own part. If you refuse to do your part, the situation will remain the same. And those of you who are scared, a fearful man dies 1,000 times before his or her death. You better wake up and stop being afraid. Confront your enemy. Stop being afraid. Nobody is going to save you. Only you will save yourself. Be ready to rise up and face the consequence. Freedom is not free. You fight for it. It is not dashed out. I want you to hear from Mazen Nandika a word of advice he left for you and I. And then you understand why we are doing what we are doing.
It is left for the people to change a corrupt system. Don't leave it to God. Oliver Cromwell sacked King Charles I and cut off his head. You see English people, you see the British. Some of you don't know that they rebelled against their own government too. That is why today they are advanced and developed. That's why today the House of Commons is sovereign, more or less, in terms of political power. The French people revolted, Americans revolted, Russians revolted, everywhere, even the Arab Spring. The only place without any uprising is in Black Africa, and that is why you are poor.
Did you hear it? If you want a genuine freedom, there must be a revolt. All the countries you are celebrating today, they revolted. The French people revolted. The Americans revolted. The British revolted. The Russians revolted. Every country that, including the Arab Spring, there was a revolt, and things changed automatically. The only place you don't see revolt is in Africa. And it is sad. And today I can tell you that Biafrans are going to change their narratives. Biafrans, we are prepared, more than ready to change that narratives. And nobody can stop it. It does not matter how you think, what you feel, or what you have in your mind. We are going to change that narrative, the Biafran people. And before we proceed, I want to share one of the write-ups that our Prime Minister shared. It was a very interesting. When I saw the write-up, I read through it and I said, I have to share it on this platform. Because some of us might go to the platform for a Prime Minister and you don't have time to read down. This is an article written. And I believe that the person that wrote this article is a one Nigerianist. In as much as there are certain truth in it, it was not the whole truth. It wasn't the whole truth, but there's some few truths in it. So our Prime Minister shared it on his X platform, and I want to read what the article says. The article says an appeal to Tinubu on Southeast agitation. And the person that wrote this article is Elliot Ugo. From the name, I think he's a Biafra, but he might be a one Nigerianist. because the informations did not capture everything that it's supposed to capture. He's a Biafran. But from when I read down, I have in my spirit the feeling that this person is a one Nigerianist, even though he's a Biafran. And I'm going to read the article so that you can be able to reason with me. Maybe we can get some type of it. And the whole world who are watching, people who are going to watch from other countries and other nationalities, will be able to get some points from what I'm going to read. An appeal to Tinubu on Southeast agitation by Elliot Ugo. Writers. It says, individuals and some section of the media have tried to paint the picture that the agitation in Southeast is mischievous, insincere, and built on greed for power. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Commentators usually begin the story from the middle, thereby erasing the truth. The agitators are actually frustrated citizens who are scared of handing to their own children the unacceptable condition they found themselves in post-Civil War Nigeria. They believe that since they were not responsible for the war, that they should not be eternally punished for a war that ended 53 years ago. They desire to be treated as equal citizens. Their region treated fairly as other regions. They desire true federalism, fair treatment to all, level playing field for all. That has not been the case. That has never been the case. And that is actually the truth. Their reaction and desire to succeed is anchored on their belief that they will never get justice. This is true. We will never get justice anywhere in Nigeria. This is absolute truth, and that is why we must get out of the zoo. This thing is a truth that every person in this world must understand and take to heart. It is a truth, undeniable truth. I read it again. Their reaction and desire to succeed is anchored on their belief that they will never get justice. It is a fact. You can never get justice in Nigeria. It all began 24 years ago. A little flicker of flame. It grew into a huge inferno because the root cause of their grievances have never been addressed. Justice, fair play, and equality has never ever been addressed in Nigeria and will not be addressed. So stop, don't even expect that it will. It will never be addressed. He said has never, but I say it will never be addressed. The world has helplessly watched the agitation in the Southeast grow steadily from a storm in a teacup into a hurricane. How less than 100 random young men, Ralph was gathered at his Ejadodun Street, Agulejika, Lagos residence in September 1999, grew into several hundreds, then thousands, and now several millions under Nnamdi Kanu. This is a fact. When Uwazurike started, he started well. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was part of him. The issue was not addressed. Instead, they were able to cage Uwazurike, cornered him, and forced him to step down, and he sold out for one reason or the other, which he explained in some of his videos, how his commanders were brought to him, and he had no choice because he was deserted. The same system they wanted to use for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: kidnap him, isolate him, and then he will feel alone and he surrender. They did it with Uwazurike and it worked for them. And today, under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, millions of people of the world are following. And with somebody like the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Israel, you cannot isolate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is impossible, absolutely impossible to isolate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, being a chosen one, will never deny Biafra. That I assure you. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Israel has also given a promise that he will never leave Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu needs 100 men, he is 50. And today we can see him more than 50, doing exactly what he has promised. And I read, how pundits and friends of every government, he mentioned Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan, Buhari, had assured the agitation would be suddenly crushed within weeks. That has always been their belief. They say they will crush us. We are going to crush it. It's not going to fly. We'll catch their leader, arrest him, intimidate him, take their lives, and they are gone. They have always claimed that they will crush this agitation in weeks without addressing it, or at most within a few months. How these advisors have managed to remain without blame. They have not been blamed, but rather smartly and successfully passed on the blame to others. They passed on the blame to other people, completely exonerating themselves, remaining a great mystery. Regime after regime completely trusted these discreet advisors who presented themselves as experts on how to cripple, paralyze, and permanently silence the agitation. That has always been their case. They always think that they can stop this agitation by all means possible. They call us names, they call us miscreants. They say it's just a group of people who are in abroad making noise. They have never given a chance to address the situation. They have always talked down on us. And the most important one is that they have never been held to account. He mentioned from Obasanjo to Yar'Adua to Goodluck Jonathan to late Muhammad Buhari. Each and every one of them that comes, they will do the same thing. And you see that they have never been blamed. They have never been blamed. They never take responsibility. And today, we are in the era of another man. The same thing is still happening. This article is very interesting. And he went ahead to write, and he said, meanwhile, the ranks, audacity, and tenacity of the agitator only doubled and quadrupled steadily when they think they are going to crush us. We are growing, and it is no longer agitation at today. We are talking of liberation. We are talking of liberation in the hand of the dragon who have made a promise and said that there's no going back. He said, I will finish what Dim Odumegwu started. While they are busy thinking that they're going to crush us. Meanwhile, the ranks and audacity and tenacity of the agitators only doubled and quadrupled steadily, from disrupting census headcount to pulling down the Onitsha prison gates to opening a liaison offices in Washington, D.C. and establishing radio stations in London. The agitators over the years grew and grew in size, number, and sophistication. He mentioned only few. That is why I said the person that wrote this is not an agitator. He's not a genuine Biafra. When he was mentioning about the sophistication of the liberation of Biafra today, we have gone much more than what he mentioned. He just mentioned only few. He talked about the time of Wazirike when the census was disrupted. He talked about opening liaison offices in Washington, D.C. He talks about the establishment of radio, talked about some other few things, and how the agitation have sophisticated. But I can bet you today that we have liaison offices in all countries of the world today. Not only in Washington, D.C., most of the world powers, most of the well-known countries, we have liaison offices. And the Biafran Republic of Israel have been openly, formally sent letters for recognition in every country where we have liaison offices. They have sent letters for recognition. Today we have the Liberation Army. The Liberation Army of Biafra, they are working 247. It has been inaugurated. They have their sophisticated weapon to defend and protect Biafra land. It is not hidden. It is not a secret. Our Prime Minister takes responsibility whenever the Liberation Army carries out an operation. He talks about it on the X platform. He doesn't hide it. It's not a secret. Today, the Biafran people have a government. This man did not mention about the government of Biafra. That is why I said the person that wrote this still misses it. He might be a one Nigerianist, even though he's a Biafran, but he lacks information. The sophistication of Biafran restoration today has gone to a level of no return. We have a government, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, under the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And that government stands unstoppable. It does not matter what you think, what you feel, or what you say. The government of Biafra today is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. In that government, you have ministries working. You have formidable professors, engineers, doctors, nurses, businessmen who are part of the government. Diplomatic missions are going. Diplomatic moves are being made on a daily basis. A lot of progress and success made. And today, the Biafra government in exile under Mazi Simon Ekpa have also released the Biafran coin. He did not mention about the Biafran coin. It's either he doesn't have the information or he's not paying attention. That is why I say, even though he made a point, he missed a lot of things. The Biafran Bank has been activated. The Biafran digital currency on the 9th of this month will be officially unveiled, and it's going to be on the international market. You will see it on stock exchange. These are things that are on the ground have been achieved. So when you talk about the sophistication of the liberation of Biafra, it is much more sophisticated than you can ever imagine. And there's no going back. The date has been announced for the declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. In case you do not know, pay attention. And he went further to write and he said, when internal crisis amongst them led to the emergence of the new leadership and a new faction with a new name, a decade later, the authority resolutely refused to review the strategy of containment. There's no way you can contain what the Biafrans are bringing. It is either you let us go or you face the consequence of your action. We are going to go either way. As the new leader effectively used the airwaves to aggressively spread the gospel of secession, gathering huge converts, discrediting the first and area leader, regional leaders and the federal authorities continue with the same old format and strategy of calling the agitators miscreants, deviants, criminals, and fraudsters, while ruling out tanks and security to deal with the troublemakers. You see, this has always been the strategy. They always call us names, they call us miscreants, they describe us with all manner of kinds of words. Sometimes they call us militants, miscreants, militant, and others. In the midst of all those name calling, they are still rolling out tanks to pursue the militants, to pursue the miscreants. For those who they say they have no one, they know no person, they are children, they are kids. They are still rolling out tanks. And of course, every one of you see what the Liberation Army is doing with them with their tanks. The Liberation Army is dealing with them on a daily basis. Even as we speak, the Liberation Army is dealing with them. And we will continue to deal with them until Biafra completely leave the Zoological Republic. Every one of us must continue to pay attention. The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Venezuela, is formidable. He has made the promise and is not going back. Biafra will exist. Every one of you saw the revelation he made about the coup plot in the zoo. All is to distract the Biafrans. But he has made it clear, with your coup or without your coup, you cannot distract us. We are walking out of the zoo. And of recent, they have stepped up their propaganda because they have nothing to offer. They are now stepping up their propaganda and they are now using their criminal journalists, just like our Prime Minister described them. He said, when you have journalists who are on drugs, the kind of thing they report, they are reporting that Simon the Prime Minister, because of the revelation he made about hobos or the woman and the sponsorship of coup, that they are stepping up the call for his arrest and repatriation, deceiving themselves. The Prime Minister of Biafra is indestructible because Chukwu Okabiyama said so. Because he's standing on the truth, he has not committed any crime anywhere. And by the way, you have been calling for his arrest forever. And what did you get from that response? You have written petitions, you have invited the ambassador, you have gone to the Minister of External Affairs, and you have even sent envoys to Finland. What came about it? Nothing come out of it. And still yet, we don't want to plant. Only idiots will fall into this your cheap propaganda and blackmail. Biafrans will never fall for it. Biafrans will never, ever fall for your cheap propaganda and blackmail. So, fellow Biafrans that are watching wherever you are watching us from, I want you to understand that we must walk out of the zone. And before we continue or end this program, I'm going to read a very special announcement to everyone that is watching this program. This announcement is very, very important. As we are preparing to exit the zone, we must also think about the security of life and property in that contraption. That is why our Prime Minister have announced on his platform, and he said, send the list of all the communities in Biafra land where Fulani terrorists are kidnapping our people. The Operation Typhoon, the Biafran Defense Force will embark on Operation Typhoon against all bandits and terrorists that are kidnapping Biafrans in major roads in Biafra land. We need comprehensive list of all locations to be submitted to this very address. Listen carefully. Anywhere where the Fulani terrorists are kidnapping people, anywhere where they are being operated, any place you know that they are, the Liberation Army are going to start an operation, which is called Operation Typhoon. You are being advised to send information to this very address. If you have the location, you have the address, the number, or how to reach the place, please send information to this very address. Take down this very information. It is very important. The address is info@biafrarepublic.gov.org. 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 Send the information there and let the Liberation Army do their job. Every one of us should submit information on this very address. Send information to this very email of anywhere you know that the Fulani kidnappers are, any road, anywhere you know that they are operating. Send us information. It is needed. Submit that information as soon as possible. The submission of the information will end on the 8th of this month, March. Information are going to be collected until on the 8th of this month, March, by 12 midnight Biafran time. Remember, 12 midnight on the 8th, the collection of information will end. And then the Liberation Army will be unleashed and they will take control as always. The primary responsibility of the Biafra, the organizer, and our Prime Minister is to secure life and property of Biafrans wherever they are. And we will continue to make sure that Biafrans are secure and safe. Fellow Biafrans that have participated on this program, I appreciate every one of you that played a role in this platform. Please like and share this program. Make sure it gets to every Biafran. Make sure that every Biafran gets this very update. And also, you can share to other friends and families. You never can tell. Information is power. We must not keep silent. When we keep silent and the lies they tell against us stays for a very long time, it will begin to seem as if it is the truth, when we know that it's never the truth. For now that we have a man that is strong and formidable and is ready to end it all, we must give him the support. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic said, I have come to finish what our eternal leader, Dim Onobuju, have started. And he said, I will be their end.
I will be, I have not just I will, I have become your last bus stop. And said it from the beginning till now. I will be your end until Biafra come.
Fellow Biafran that are watching, wherever you are watching us from, I appreciate you and I pray that Chukwu Okikabia will guide and protect you wherever you are. I pray that Chukwu Okikabia will guide and protect every Biafran, home and abroad. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect all our media presenters, all the media of Biafra Republic of Exile and their families. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect them. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect the de facto government in the whole land. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect the Liberation Army, the resistance fighters, the Black Marine, our Air Force, the Strike Force. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect them. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect every member of Biafra, the Organizer Cabinet. May Chukwu Okikabia guide and protect our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa. We commit him into the hand of Chukwu Okikabia for divine protection, for divine wisdom, divine knowledge. No evil shall befall him. Every trap they set for him will catch them. Every pit they dig for him, they will fall into it. We pray for our Supreme Damazan Namdekan, for divine healing, for divine strength, for divine revelation. We pray for him for freedom. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafrans shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Leader, Master Namdekan, shall prosper. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I appreciate every one of you that have participated in one way or the other. I will see you again tomorrow by the special research book. Thank you so much. And remember, we are sitting at home today. We are sitting at home and we will continue to do so until Biafra comes. Thank you so much and stay safe. See you again next time. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. Thank you.